Good morning, guys. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Welcome back in the streets of Chicago, and today we've got special something happening because Magic, you remember Magic from Japan? It's his first time here, first day in Chicago, so we're going to hit a few spots. But I want to actually talk to you a little bit about what I'm shooting with and show you some of the results. Magic, can you tell me if you had less than $300 to buy a lens, what would you get? Honestly.
I'll be honest with you. I would buy TT Artisan Tilt 50mm f1.4. I have it in my bag.
Really?
It's really cheap and really awesome.
Is it less than 300?
I think so.
The 51.4 tilt, I've tried it here in Chicago. So you can check out that video after. Now, if you tell me this 51.8 is around the same price, the 1.4, then it might be actually even better. Let me show you a few scenes that we're shooting and a few shots with that lens, and I'm gonna explain to you in a second why I think this is an incredible lens that everyone should get in their bag at least once in their life. Magic said a 51.4 tilt shift, and I'm gonna tell you guys a 51.8 with autofocus that will work on Sony, on Canon, or Nikon. Whether you go with a constructor brand or not, it's gonna be an amazing lens. There's two main reasons for it. I'm gonna develop for you right now in this video. It's gonna be fairly short, and I'm gonna tell you, if you've been on a zoom lens, a kit lens, and you've never changed, you gotta try at least one. 50mm is a focal range that feels slightly natural but a little bit zoomed in. It's almost like your vision but a little tighter, you know? And having an aperture that goes down to f1.8 for a price that is under 200, maybe if you find it secondhand, way under 200, or maybe even under $100, or if the newer ones, maybe around $200, you're gonna have that bokeh creamy look that you see a lot in portrait photography, but you'll be able to shoot in low light, and you'll be able to get softer look than if you were shooting with the zoom lens that only are gonna open to f1 to f4. And to me, that's one of the most important part. Now, if you're asking me about why does my lens look so weird, it is because this is a 50-1.8 RF from Canon that was put in a cinema housing, which makes it kind of bulletproof and indestructible, and that's kind of what it's used for. It's for red cameras usually, but it's RF mount, and it works great with this R6 Mark II that I've been using. So now I want to share with you how to optimize and make the most out of your 50-1.8. All right, first of all, how to make the most out of your 50. Always shoot at 1.8. No matter what happened, you always shoot at f1.8. No, I'm joking. Obviously, switch your aperture depending on your creative needs. The first thing to consider is that if you have an APS-C camera, it's gonna be really tight. You're gonna be around 75mm equivalent, which is gonna be pretty tight for most of us. So it's gonna be a great portrait lens, or to go sneak in and find some details. Now, if you're on full frame, what's gonna allow you to do without being too tight is gonna have details, portraits, and also go reach a little further in some situations without being and having that like telephoto effect, that too much compression. You know, you want to find that right balance. When we were taking photos earlier, at 50 you're still able to get those reflection shots against window easily while still having context in your images. And that's something that when you're at 85, 90mm, etc., it's a little harder to get context. It's really about just one tiny part of your image and one subject versus a little more. And I love when you do that with 50mm is to be able to include a little bit of that context. And it's a little tighter than the 35mm, which maybe a lot of you have thought about getting, but 35 will be a little tougher in situations. With the 50, in my opinion, it's gonna hit the sweet spot, and it's such a great lens to get started shooting prime lenses.
I was very stressful today walking with you and taking these photos.
There you go.
I was like frustrated that, oh my god, he's having all the good shots with his 51.8 out of focus, and I'm not, because I decided to have a fun lens. Yeah, getting that smooth, nice background.
Right?
That portrait mode you always wanted.
And that's what everyone wants.
Yeah,
you know? And you can tell when I'm shooting wide open really quickly. Even in daytime, you can tell the background appears a little faster, it looks a little smoother. And at the end of the day, I think that's something that's very helpful, especially if you're not in the best place shooting all the time.
Exactly. You can get rid of everything else that is in the background and just smoothen it out, make it super creamy. And if you have some lights, when it's gonna get dark, it's gonna be even better. Like all these city lights is just gonna pop up in the bokeh of your photos.
Yeah, so honestly, let me know in the comments right now, do you have a 51.8? Have you ever gotten one? What was your first prime lens? I want to know everything because I'm super curious. It's something I recommend all the time, and I see a lot of people who buy the kit lens, you know, with the Canon or with their Sony or their new Nikon, whatever it is. I think this is a great idea, but try to get that 51.8. I think it's gonna change a lot. Another lens I used to recommend a lot, but they haven't made it yet for the mirrorless, is the Sigma 18 to 35 1.8.
Oh yeah, that was only APS-C also.
Yes, also it's just APS-C. But for people who start, they usually get those APS-C cameras.
Yeah,
this
you
was
have
like,
APS-C
oh
cameras.
my god,
Yes.
such a great lens. And honestly, I was a little in a creative rut lately because I've been shooting in Chicago for a long time, and I gotta share, going back to that 51.8 is fun. Also shooting with a Canon when I'm used to Sony is definitely fun because it changes things. But another thing that really helped creatively is to bring out a friend. Like Magic was actually in town, he came to shoot a wedding, and so he's like, let's go shoot. We just went around, and I think that's something I recommend all the time. Try to bring a friend, try to find someone to go shoot with, even if it's your wife, could be your dog, anyone.
Walk
honestly.
the dog and take photos.
Exactly, it's such a great outlet, a way to escape if you're not judging yourself on your photos, honestly. That's easy, right? You just take photos for fun. Stop trying to think, did I get the best photo that's gonna get 1 billion likes or the next award, in this planet? I think that's the most important. So let's try to focus on that the next time, or you try to focus on that next time you go shoot. I'll try too, because I don't know about you, but because you have a channel too, you're a wedding photographer, we have
Yeah.
pressure sometimes.
Oh, there's pressure for sure.
It's like, oh, I have to take
with
good shots
clients
because
and so on, obviously. Yeah. But like having a walk like we had today, amazing.
Yeah.
Zero pressure at all. Just
No.
taking photos, nice light, enjoying the city. Also, if you're in Northern Hemisphere, we are. It's gonna get warm and nice very soon for all of us. It's gonna be amazing. Get out and shoot.
Yeah, I absolutely encourage you to do that. And the last thing I'll say is print your photos too. We talked about it in a few videos, but definitely do that. You'll see it's gonna change your perception of your own work. It's gonna be beautiful. With that being said, guys, I'm gonna let you go. Let me know what you think of those shots, of that little session. And Magic, thank you so much. And get out there, go shoot, try something different, try something new. We'll see you in the next one.